Hi, I'm Sean, and you're watching Shopworx. On this episode of the 6-door build, you're going to see it go from this to this. We'll show where we cut on the back end there and how we grafted the Bronco body back on here. And a little bit of problems here and there along the way. So stay tuned and hope you like it. Well, I've got a lot of the junk out of here. So I'm going to clean the rest of this out. All the cardboard pieces that are left, leaves, moss, etc. And probably pull the fiberglass top off it. And the guy can get in with a hoe and pull the motor and tranny out easy and get rid of the rest of the stuff there. And pull the rear seat out and front seats out and start pulling some interior plastic. So, like I say, this thing was bought from a junkyard in the shape it's in. No tailgate, no stuff like that. The sides are all beat in on it. But, got a few Broncos floating around. Figured price was right for the parts it had. And obviously it's got the worst damage on it, so I got to change the quarters to make it what I want anyway. So I figured it was a perfect donor for that. So this is one we're going to be putting the back on from once we get it polished off here. Already. Well, feels like it's loose now anyway. Lift the heavier stuff out here. No idea what that engine's out of, a little 2-barrel of some kind, and same with the tranny. I guess stuff's been sitting around long when. So you have to rip the side panels out here, the seats, headliner I'm probably going to have to save after, or part of it, and rework it, and rip all the trim out here, and then find the body mounts and figure out where I'm cutting it. So that's what we're up to.
I'll see if I can fire up the hole.
Well, sort of tucking the chain out of my way underneath here. I haven't really looked at her too hard, but guess I should peel this off and let's see how much rust there is to fix. Quite a bit. It looks like it's better than I was expecting anyway. I was expecting, you know, without the whole back there, this whole bottom, I was expecting this to be rusted. Got a hole here, patch in, bunch there, probably piece all the way across here, and dig through the rest of this crap here and see what there is. But I think it's, you know, based on that, I think it's going to be a lot better than I was expecting. Cheap version of Dynamat, cardboard with some tin foil. I'll run that through the dishwasher later. Outside still. The rest of that will de-thaw when I get her in eventually. Looking like I got some body bounce here, there, and I think there should be some just behind the front seats there, so I'll have to undo all of them as well. Right there off the seat, so well, keep tearing into it. So out here at I pull you pull, trying to find some parts here. This door's in a lot better shape than both of the driver's doors that I was going to use for a donor, so I have a feeling this one will be going home. And here at Pick and Pull, there's another one. It's got some minor damage on it, but the bottom's not all rusted out on it. It's got a crease up here, which I think a guy can straighten out enough to work it pretty good. So we'll take this one too for what it is. Crew cab parts are pretty hard to find. Somebody's really raped and pillaged that door. So it looks like I'm only getting a couple driver's doors today. Well, what I've done here is I put my rear doors back on, my donor doors. That are going to go on in this location. I'm going to be tearing off the interior panel and glass and everything here, just like we did these. Again, we'll be cutting and grinding. And wanted to put them back on, so I've got a body line to line back up with the next piece there. And get it all set up the way I entail it to be, so hopefully this will work out. Well, I'm going to be doing the same mark on the roof here as we did before. This is also back the 2 inches. So keep that the same, and it's right on that seam again. However, inside here, I can't really compare the floors too easily. We're you know, in and out of the shop there. So I'm going to be cutting it back, playing it safe, probably there, or maybe moving it another 2 inches back, and just bolt holes for the seat belts and everything. And got my butt covered that way. I'm still hoping to seam it up about where it normally would seam there. So we'll try for that and see how it goes here once I get everything marked out and the other one cut her apart. Well, out here marking on the roof of the Bronco. Not quite sure what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go another 2 inches past what I did on the other one here. So from this mark here all the way over to this mark here. It's about 4 inches. Oh, should be damn close to 4 inches. So again, all I can do is use a string for it. And the inside here, this whole thing's hard to measure out. Nothing's really square on it. You can see the bottom's all bent and pushed in here and pulled out there with a fork, and you close the door on it. You got a 3/8 gap, and she's over a 1/2 inch there and next to nothing down below kind of thing. So we'll have to see how that goes here. So I've been marking, you know, sort of have an idea. When I go put stuff back together, I'm going to tighten that up a little bit there, make sure they're the same side to side. Over here on the passenger side, I got the same thing. She's been pushed in and hammered on. So I got the piece at the top here. You can see the hail damage on this one too. But I didn't do this last year, would have been a lot easier. This one here, I've only got a 1/4 inch gap. Slowly widens out where she's all bent up and back together down to about a 3/16 at the bottom there. So I have to get the grinder out and get her cut off, brought in, cut the back off the other truck there, and try to get her all test fitted back together and slowly bring her back in like I did the other one. And once it's inside, it hopefully be warm enough I can get these body panels out of here without busting them up too much. There's some plastic clips inside, and I'm kind of hoping to be able to reuse these as a template. Probably going to go with some checker plate aluminum or something after and build something in there. So figure it out. Thing that's kind of messing with me here is these seat belts are 15 inches center to center, and up in the front there, that floor pan's just a little different. See here, it's just got the stud and the stud for the bench seat. We'll go up to that Bronco now. So my first problem here is I'm 13 inches with the whole setup. And this was for the Bronco seats. And you can see how the floorboard's got a little different profile to it. It spreads out a little bit different. I think that's to do with that center console. So. Well, it's cold out here, so I'm starting cutting the roof. Like to get this thing inside the shop here, at least get it cut before it gets too cold out. But I got some stuff over the window glass here. Not too worried about the front windshield, as you can see. So let's get her cut and get on with her. There's a double wall in there, an inside and outside shell. You can see the double wall in there and what I can and can't get at. I'll have to do a little more cutting, figure out how I want to do this, the way I want to do this now.
out the big axe. Oh, not much strength in the floor of this thing, is there? He just wants to fold right up here. Cross member is under here, if there is one. Yep. The next brought right through a heat shield. I see it, that thing slipped right up. And the way that's heated, it's still attached. There we go. Bonus. Well, I've got it cut on the top and cut down on the bottom there. You can probably see all this stuff just folding right up here. So this thing's pretty much ready to go. I got all the body mounts off there about a week ago. Slow going on this stuff sometimes. Found a nice crack up in the top here I'm going to have to fix up. Don't know what caused that, but definitely I'm sure it's leaking water down and in. So this is where I'm going to be separating the quarters, take them off. I know I'm going to have a lot of rust to fix up down here, so not looking forward to that too much. But it's coming along slowly, a little here, a little there. We're going to have to put a good rush on her over Christmas, so get her inside. She's definitely below freezing out here, so looking forward to getting inside with everything and not having to come out here for much for a while. So, like I say, pulled all the body bolts out, and I got 6 back here. So this, I believe, should be prove me wrong. Something's holding her somewhere. And the fuel filler neck, I guess, still to pull out. Holding this side here. There's some water and some I'm not sure, but the hole will find it, I'm sure. We're gonna probably lift her right off the back there and where the seat clips back in there and you fold it down. Should be fairly close to being stable there, and just rig some rope or ratchet strap or something across. So we'll get her that way. Anywho, if we're something still hooked, sure the hole finder. Trick I found with this is you heat the metal, not the plastic. Get the metal warm and the glue lets go on it, and then it peels off. Sticking pretty good. I know, that's why I got the heat gun. Heat the metal on it and it comes loose. Protrusion. Well, it looks like it's somewhat reusable. Add on some duct tape and it'll be okay, I guess. Wash. We've still got some other 2 doors off there that are gonna pull apart to get the pieces out of them too. I find taking these rivets out there pretty good. It's a little 5/32 punch. The reason I'm taking these out, we're going to be taking the manual window regulators out of here and putting the power ones in. The 6 doors, power windows, power locks, as long as everything works that I have, and if not, I'll be on the scrounge down at some junkyards in the States, hopefully. Plus, you want to save the glass from getting splattered. Yeah. That's what the backside looks like after you get them out. Well, I've got both doors stripped down, right down to the panels itself, got the glass out and the mechanisms there. So now I'm going to probably play it safe and chop this way back here till I get the other piece in and measure it the rest of the way. So get that done and let the dust settle out overnight, and hopefully I'll get back in here at some point tomorrow and we'll get the back brought in and start matching stuff up here. Be kind of nice to get her in and see what she looks like. Be rough, but it'll start taking shape. We'll get on the roof. Move my light. Well, it's now a convertible again. We got the roof off, or the back. Pull this off, I can't even talk with the mask on here. Got the back off here. All shut off, and I'll be able to slide the other one in here, see where we're at. I'm hoping just to do the same thing here and pop out all these spot welds here and pop it off and be able to slide the other one up and in here. So, and same thing with the roof here. Hopefully do the same as the front. And not sure how I'm going to transition these back in yet. I'm kind of hoping maybe I could slide the roof underneath here and be able to get a good penetration weld on it, and then just taper these, cut them a little bit, bring them down, weld them in. But till I get it in here and butted up and tested, I guess I really won't know. So we'll bring her in tomorrow, let the dust die down in here, and see where we're at. Definitely going to be like heat in a cave.
Well, luckily got that apart the other day for all this solid precipitation hit. I guess I get a sweeper off once more, and I'll get her craned in today.
Well, it's bloody cold out here. It's -31 for winter. Thinking maybe I should throw this back up. You know, Project Bronco, missing tailgate, needs a little bit of body work, some rust. 10,000 bucks, like everybody else is doing it. Don't lowball me. I know what I got, eh? Well, looks like we're in here anyway. We're nowhere close. I still have to measure and cut everything, but it's just too cold to leave that door open. So it's going to be what it's going to be right now. And, let this stuff melt off and warm up in here, and then we'll do a bunch more measuring and figure out what's going from where. So we'll be able to get it to the proper spot over there on the axle and everything, get her all buffed up. So for now, let her warm up.
Well, looks like I got myself a paint booth possibly here. Just got to find a frost fighter there to heat the thing with. Looking for a propane one, and something in my budget. And a little preview on something else I'll be working on here in the near future, hopefully. So, takes these. Well, I've been doing a little more looking at this here, and got it cleaned up a bit. I'll give me out of that, and did a little more measuring here. This is where the Bronco seat was here, and when we measured that, I believe it was 12.5 or so, and this plug was actually back in right here. So that is my 15-inch bolt there. So I did some more measuring, and based on where I cut on those bolts back forward, where I need to cut this is on this line here, which would be the same as using the seam over here. So I'm going to be tearing that one right across like I did before. There is a couple subtle differences to it, which I'm going to have some fun with, and it's all based on this hump right here and that hump there. One of them's 16.5, the other one's 19. I'll show you on the other side here what I'm talking about. So right here is the two differences. That tin over here doesn't quite line up here, so I'm going to have to bring it out to here. So I'm either going to have to heat this up and bend it up, to make it match the profile here to seam it, or heat this one up and bend it down to match this profile. So, and then the same over here with this hump, this taper here. This is where it is normally over here, same width, but tapers out and back. So I'll be doing the same thing there, either heating it up and moving one or the other, or going to be cutting a filler piece in after and finagling it a bit. So you can see the front there, it's got a little bit of a taper off the tranny hump, and I think that's the same thing going on with the Bronco here, because that would be in essence the very front, right? There's only one front row door seating, so that's where I'm at with that. We'll be cutting that 4 inches off here, give or take, and I'm sure I'm going to be doing the same with the roof. So, and then the roof's a whole nother story, which I haven't figured out yet. There's a lot more curve in the Bronco roof up here than there is here. I don't know if the camera's actually picking it up. Maybe I'll do an end shot. It's not near as steep as this one. Now I don't know if that's something to do with using mid-90s screw cab. You know, I'm using a 96 cab up on the front there, 97 cab up on the front, and a 92 cab on the middle. And this Bronco here is 84, I believe. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. I have to do a little more measuring on some other ones there and try to figure it out. I just assumed the roof line was the roof line and all the same. So anyways, let's get cutting, drilling, removing, and hopefully get her pieced together. No, that's where we're going to be buttoning her up to. I'll have to clean that up here in a little bit and figure out where we're going to cut these down to. And I'll take the 4 inches off over here next with the grinder, I think, and same up top here.
Well, that's that. I figure out where to cut these back in, take the rest of this heat shield out here. I'll go far back it. Touches for quite a ways. Scoot that back a little bit more. Well, what I've got going is I'm filling little spots on the plug welds here that I cut out, and getting them ready to grind down and be flat so we can plug weld these and get this all seamed up.
So one of my comments there, or comment asked to me, I guess, was about changing the roof out with a van roof. I'm going to do a little diving into that, but here you can see I cleared out the seam sealer and the drip rail. You can see the spot welds holding the roof down. So to get a donor skin for a van, you know, off something else, time you got all these cleaned out and removed and stuff, it's be a gong show, I think, trying to put a used one back in. So I'm going to try to make this stuff all work, but I am going to do a little more measuring on a van roof. It got my curiosity going.
Okay, so I got it ground off. We're going to pull it forward there, get it close to where it should be centered, and hopefully we'll be close here too. So let's hope for the best here.
Nothing good to grab, all I got to rust. Over top, yep. Close? Could be. Damn, measurements are close. That's nice, buddy. Top's got to go in a bit. My guy's going to go in a good inch. That's good, so you got a big gap up top. So do I. And we're going to have to do the same thing, get the bottom sitting where it is and then jack it up and for an eighth maybe? Probably I can caught on the lip again here with this piece underneath it.
Well, we're looking a lot closer here now anyway. You can see my problem with the roof up top here. And I still got to monkey around with the door here. Slide it forward. And for some reason we're a little bit outside to side. I'm thinking that has something to do with being hit on the driver's side there. Looks like somebody jammed a fork up into the rocker that I tried to cut a lot of it out of. So we'll see. So due to that difference in height there on the truck cab to the Bronco cab, I'm just trying to come up with a transition piece of some kind to fix the issue. I was thinking I could bend that down and cut it, weld it, fill it back in. Obviously we're not where we're sitting there. I just don't want to deal with that today. So we're going to be ending this one here today here right quick, but you see the difference. There's no way I'm going to get that center peak up there, you know, inch and a half. So is what it is, and we'll figure something out.
I'm sure this probably doesn't do it justice, but out here at the back end, and she's looking like she's a pretty long beast now. I guess this side's a little better show of it here. We were able to bend it around. The actual crew cab body was wider than the Bronco body, so that helped out a little bit. Being able to bend it up, and when I squeeze it together, I got a little more arch out of it, so that helps a bit.
Just like the rest of it, just sort of skip around and tack over all the way down it, and keep it from heating up too much and distorting as much as I can help. So get at her.
So I didn't film much of that for the evening. The afternoon there, I did a lot of bending and cutting and tweaking and pushing and cutting and bending and welding and cutting the welds and re-welding and all that that great stuff, trying to get these lined up. So be basically a lot of nothing going on there, a lot of head scratching. So I'm gonna get this finished up here, and you can sort of see down at the floor. The only way I was able to really get this thing going was set my spacing here in the doors and using the seat bolts, welding in the seams on each side down low on the rockers, and then setting the drip rails up top here. So we'll get her. I'm gonna pop a few more jacks. Picked up a couple more of those today. Those load securement pieces. And you can see sort of what I'm talking about here, that I gotta do a little finagling on. I got a gap there and a gap here and a big gap over here. Once I get these pieces out here, all that'll spring up and I'll weld it all in. And once we get done that, I'll do some piecing together, and then we can start putting some body mounts in on here. Doing the back, get it all prepped up and ready. Okay, a little bit of a different shot here. I got the 5 bars in there. You can see at the top. See the tacks every inch or so on it. What I'm going to be doing is coming off each of these, bringing it out 10 inches back to the seam right here, and weld them in after, stiffen it up. This one here, I'm just going to get this welded up and stuck together, and we'll concentrate on some more of the finishing touches there as far as the rough steel goes.
So, I've got a little bit of a problem in a few spots here. I've got a bunch of stuff that's stretched. It's got a low spot here, so I got to shrink that back up. Another one here. This one's a high spot. I'm going to have to shrink that in. And right in here, I got some problems going on too. So before I can put my reinforcement in, I want to try to level this out as best I can here. Best. That's probably the one that works the best. Look at them again.
So we got 2, 1, 2, 3, and
drivers 1, 2, 3, and then I think passengers was 3, 2, 1. I could be wrong. So what the plan is, I'm going to be stiffening these ribs back in here. I've got the stuff shrunk down, maybe a little too far in spots there, but been 22, 23 years since I had to monkey with that, so lot of practice. So what I'm going to do is fill these in, weld these back in there. This should stiffen this whole roof up, and it'll tie everything back in. And again, you're kind of trussing the roof. The inside I'm going to weld up as well, and I'm making these out of the leftovers of the middle front cab piece. line them, and away we go. So what I've done is cut the 6 ribs off the front. I've got them staged in here the best I can. They're looking not too bad here. This will be a problem later I'll have to address. But what these ribs are doing now is bringing it right to the back here. And this is no longer a flimsy piece. It's not going to oil can. It's tying this roof in with everything here. So that's going to be big on terms of structure. So I'm just going to have to weld these up, and it'll be some fun with the die grinder after and get them down, but I think it's well worth it to tie it in this way.
Well, I've got them glued on here. Caused a few other little warpages I'm going to have to fix. But I guess that's par for the course. Get the bottom side done up and move on to ripping some quarter panels off. Well guys, I'm trying not to bore you with the endless hours of nothing but welding and grinding here, so this one's been a little shorter, but I'll well, at least on the welding and grinding, I hope. I'll show you guys what I've been up to here. We've got the top stitched on, pushed up, reinforcing the whole roof again there, as well as the top finished up there. Now what I've been working on here is the floor itself. I'm going to be heating up the spots here, tap that one down and out here, hopefully flatten it out, heat this up here, get a little contour in it, and then maybe probably tack these and then work over to here, see if we can't get that pushed down. So here we go.
little bit of a idea there on what a guy can do with a hammer and a torch, get her contoured up somewhat, and let me say a little bit of fine tuning later on, but nothing major. So these gaps here, well, this one here is almost a 1/4 inch. I use copper in the backside. That one's a little hot still. Back it up, clamp it in, and I can pretty much fill them right in. Copper comes right off the back, and away we go. What I'm going to be doing here is this has been hit, so I'm going to leave that for now until I rip the rear quarter off it, and we'll pull it all out and rebuild all the rust and crap here. So, in the meantime, I'll keep getting the bottom in here and get her done up, and we can move on to something bigger and better.
Well, I've got a little bit more cleanup to do, grinding and polishing on the welds and everything there. We're seamed together tops and bottoms of the crew cab and the Bronco back end there. Got the underside welded up and finished off, so we're looking pretty good. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see this or not, but if I can get right down, see the frame hole under there? At least something had to work out with my measurements. We're dead on where we need to be for the body mount. And I guess for prelude to the next video, we're going to be fixing some of the rust on here. We got a bunch to fix here, there, and everywhere. It's not terrible, but it's something that needs to be done, as well as these rear quarter panels. I've got a bunch of rust down in the corner there. That'll be the first one to get done out here, and going from the body style here to the newer OBS 92 to 96 for the fender wells match front fenders. So there may be some challenges and changes in there, so we will see how that's going to pan out in the next video.
Well guys, thanks for watching. There's going to be a bunch of stuff going on in the next part on this build. So if you want to see that, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you along the journey here. Have a good one.